If you are lucky enough to be jetting off on holiday over the next few weeks, you may be concerned about whether you'll actually make it abroad because of what is currently happening in the world.
And Europe's biggest airlines say fuel price spikes caused by the conflict will drive up fares. Travel journalist Ash Bhardwaj is here to help make your journey as smooth as possible, though.
What is the latest travel advice from the government then? We know there's a lot going on. People might have booked holidays ages ago. No one saw this coming. What's the current advice?
So the background of what's happening first is that because of the conflict that's happening around Iran and in the Middle East and across the Gulf, that airspace is closed for safety reasons. Furthermore, the places on the ground, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Doha, which are transit hubs, so a lot of airlines fly in there and then fly on from that to further places, those have been closed. They're reopening now, there are flights going through. So what that means is all airlines that are doing direct flights, say from London to Singapore or London to Thailand, they're having to take a longer route round. Right. And many of those flights going through are disrupted. So so what? That's disrupting all of global air travel. So you can't do the transits and you can't get places, and it's having knock-on effects as cabin crew are stuck in places they don't want to be, aircraft are stuck in places they don't want to be. The Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, the FCDO, issues travel advice for places based on what's going on there. It's a traffic light system. Green is it safe to travel to this place. Yellow is advising against all but essential travel, so that means you shouldn't be going on holiday there. And then red is advising against all travel entirely. And it's gone yellow for the United Arab Emirates, which is UAE, Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and it's red for places like Iran, Iraq, Israel, Lebanon. Now, the impact this has on travellers is this will impact your travel insurance. If you're going to an area that's red, it will almost certainly invalidate your travel insurance. Yeah. And if you're travelling to an area that's yellow, it will probably invalidate your travel insurance. Now, the advice is be honest with your travel insurer, get in touch with them, let them know where you're planning to go and ask them. Because certain travel insurances that are very expensive, they will cover those places. You know, people go to war zones and so on as part of reporting. So contact your travel insurer and ask them first. The final impact is fuel prices. So you may have heard that the straits have been closed, it's hard to get oil out. We were hearing earlier on about the impact that has on mortgage prices. And this is having an impact on fuel prices. So if you already have a ticket and you've already bought your airline ticket, then that will not have an impact.
OK. But
if you have a package travel regulation, if you've got a package holiday, that may have an impact because they're allowed to increase it by up to 8%. So if you're not sure, contact your package holiday operator.
We've got a message in, you might be able to help Ruth here, who says, my son and his wife are travelling from Sri Lanka today to Doha and are due to stay for an evening in the country before returning home. The UK government is saying only essential travel, but some airlines are still flying that route. So in this situation, what are their rights?
Yeah, so this is a tricky one. So if they're on a package holiday, then the package travel regulations kick in. And that means that they're obliged to either move the time of your holiday. Definitely time to go on holiday now.
Yeah, you can hear that rain there and the lightning.
What should one do?
One should go, in the time of storm, one should go on holiday. But if you're in the situation and you've got a package holiday, contact the package holiday operator. Invariably, they'd like to try and move the time that you're travelling, or they might take you a different route if you're flying back home another way. If, however, you have booked your flights separate to your accommodation, then you're not covered by those package travel regulations. If you're flying out of the UK, sometimes this thing called UK 261 kicks in. So if a flight is cancelled, they're obliged to look after you until they can reroute you. If you're coming back the other way, contact the airline because if you cancel it yourself, then you don't start to get some of those benefits, those compensations that kick in if the airline does the cancellation.
It has gone so incredibly dark. It feels ironic that it's gone so dark and gloomy outside, and we're talking about people who may be travelling over the Easter. It's a time that people think good time to get a bit of early sun. Given what has gone on globally, though, there will be people who have pre-booked holidays and thought, you know what, I just don't fancy this anymore. What if you don't want to travel?
So if your destination is a green destination, as in it's still safe to travel, and your sentiment has changed, your desire to travel has changed, then you don't have those same rights kicking in if the travel advice changes, as in the FCDO changes their travel advice. your best advice is just to contact the airline or to contact the travel company that you're going with, because they will be the ones that will ideally try to move you. They don't want to lose customers for the long term. They don't want you to be upset, and they want to retain that good sentiment with you as a consumer. So get in touch. Hopefully they'll try and help, but you don't have those same rights. Now, the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office has actually issued a statement about what the government is doing around this. They've said the government is working closely with airlines and airports to ensure the industry is prepared for disruption caused by conflict in the Middle East. This includes ensuring the travel insurance industry is equipped to deal with an increase in claims, and encouraging all airlines to ensure tickets remain fairly and appropriately priced for passengers to help protect tickets from spikes in price.
So how will things affect short-haul flights then, and maybe some other destinations?
Yeah, so 2 ways this is going to affect short-haul flights. If you haven't booked a ticket yet, then that increase in jet fuel prices might increase the ticket prices. So we're probably going to see ticket prices go up for that.
But why on earth would you thinking about going away for some sunshine
when it looks like
minute?
this? Yeah, it's really coming in.
I don't know why you'd want to leave the UK when it's such gorgeous weather like this. But the other thing that's happening is, as people are starting to become more concerned about these rising destinations like Dubai, which has become a very popular tourist destination, or they're concerned about going all the way to Thailand or to Goa because they're not sure about getting back, or Australia, people are switching to their classic destinations: Spain, Italy, France, Greece. However, I would suggest that people use this as an opportunity to look at less popular, less common destinations. Northern Poland, Estonia, Slovenia, beautiful place, incredible food, amazing landscape. Those are the places that I'd recommend people look at, because it will be less expensive.
OK.
And it's just an amazing opportunity to explore some other great places in Europe.
Yeah.
You are such an advocate for places that are off the beaten track.
Wouldn't have thought.